116 minutes. That is how long Spain waited. 116 minutes of a World Cup final with no goals. 14 yellow cards. Still, to this day, the most cards ever shown in a World Cup final. A match so physical, so fraught, that it became as famous for its fouls as for its football. And then, with 4 minutes left before the dreaded penalty shootout, the ball found a quiet, unassuming midfielder from a small town in Castilla-La Mancha. His name was Andres Iniesta, and what he did next ended 50 years of Spanish football heartbreak in a single instant. To understand the weight of this night, you have to understand the decades that came before it. Spain had never won a World Cup, not once. Despite producing some of the most gifted footballers in the world for generations, despite having two of the biggest, richest, most successful clubs on the planet, the national team had always fallen short on the biggest stage. They were knocked out early, they lost on penalties, they underperformed when it mattered most. Spanish football fans had a phrase for it: La Roja siempre defrauda. The Reds always disappoint. But the team that arrived in South Africa in 2010 felt different. They had just won the European Championship 2 years earlier, playing a style of football the world had started calling tiki-taka. Short, quick passes, total control of the ball, patience bordering on hypnosis. Xavi, Iniesta, Xabi Alonso, Sergio Busquets, Carles Puyol, David Villa. A golden generation, finally playing football that matched their talent. Andres Iniesta was born in 1984 in Fuentealbilla, a small town of around 2,000 people in the region of Castilla-La Mancha. His father ran a bar. Football was, from the very beginning, simply part of life. Something played in the street, in the schoolyard, anywhere there was space and a ball. At 12 years old, he left home to join Barcelona's famous academy, La Masia. It was, by his own account, one of the hardest things he ever did. A small boy from a small town, suddenly alone in a big city, desperately homesick. He stayed. He grew. He became, by the late 2000s, one of the most technically gifted midfielders in the world. Not flashy, not loud, but capable of a kind of footballing intelligence that bordered on telepathy. He always seemed to know where the ball needed to go, half a second before anyone else. He was never the player who sought the spotlight. Tonight, the spotlight was about to find him anyway. Standing in Spain's way was the Netherlands, a country that, remarkably, had also never won a World Cup, despite reaching the final twice before, in 1974 and 1978, and losing both times. The Dutch had given football the concept of total football, a revolutionary style built on fluid positioning and constant movement, pioneered by Johan Cruyff in the 1970s. This Dutch team, built around Wesley Sneijder, Arjen Robben and Robin van Persie, had been ruthlessly efficient throughout the tournament, winning every single match to reach the final without playing particularly beautiful football, but without losing either. Two countries, both still searching for their first World Cup, both arriving in Johannesburg with histories full of near misses and heartbreak. Only one of them could end the wait that night. Soccer City Stadium, Johannesburg. 84,490 supporters. The first World Cup ever held on African soil, and now its final match. From the opening whistle, it was clear this was not going to be a night of beautiful football. The Netherlands, perhaps sensing that they could not match Spain's passing game, chose a different approach. Aggressive challenges, hard tackles, a physical battle designed to disrupt Spain's rhythm before it could ever begin. Nigel de Jong's knee-high challenge on Xabi Alonso's chest, a tackle so violent that many pundits felt it should have resulted in a red card rather than the yellow the referee gave, set the tone for the entire match. 14 yellow cards were eventually shown. To this day, the most ever in a World Cup final. The match became less a showcase of football's beauty and more a test of which team could survive the chaos. Spain dominated possession, as they always did. They passed the ball with patience and precision. But the Dutch defence, organised and physical, refused to break. Chances came and went on both sides. Robin had 2 clear opportunities to score, both denied by brilliant saves from Iker Casillas, Spain's captain and goalkeeper. Spain probed and probed, unable to find the breakthrough their possession seemed to deserve. 90 minutes passed, no goals. The match went to extra time, 30 more minutes. The players, exhausted from the South African heat and the brutal physicality of the game, began to run on instinct alone. Cramping muscles, heavy legs. The kind of football played by men whose bodies had given everything they had to give. 116 minutes had now passed. Still nothing. 4 minutes remained before the cruelest ending in football, a penalty shootout. Earlier in extra time, Spain's manager, Vicente Del Bosque, had made a substitution that would change football history. He brought on Fernando Torres for Cesc Fàbregas, fresh legs to add pace to a tired attack. It seemed, at the time, a minor tactical tweak, but football's smallest decisions sometimes carry the largest consequences. 116 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Cesc Fàbregas, still on the pitch, not yet substituted, picked the ball up on the right side of the box. He looked up. He saw a run. Fàbregas threaded a pass through a gap in the Dutch defence. It found Andres Iniesta arriving at the edge of the penalty area, completely unmarked. The ball bounced once in front of him. Iniesta did not hesitate. He struck it on the half volley with the inside of his right foot with a perfectly balanced, perfectly weighted technique. The kind of strike that looks simple only because the man making it had spent his entire life perfecting it. The ball flew low and true into the corner of the net. 116 minutes and 16 seconds. Spain led. Spain were 1 goal away from being world champions for the first time in history. Iniesta turned, ripped off his shirt and ran. Underneath his red shirt, Iniesta wore a plain white undershirt. On it, written in his own handwriting, were 5 words. Dani Jarque, siempre con nosotros. Dani Jarque, always with us. Dani Jarque had been a close friend of Iniesta's, a fellow footballer, captain of Espanyol, who had died suddenly of a heart condition the year before, at just 26 years old. In the biggest moment of his career, in front of 1 billion people watching around the world, Iniesta had chosen to remember his friend. Football, even at its grandest and most historic, is still made of small, human, deeply personal things. Spain still had to survive 4 more minutes, plus whatever time the referee chose to add. The Netherlands threw everything forward, desperate for an equaliser that would send the match to penalties. Spain, exhausted but disciplined, defended with everything they had left. The referee, Howard Webb, blew his whistle for full time. Spain won, Netherlands 0. Spain were world champions. For the first time in their history, in Madrid, in Barcelona, in every city, town and village in Spain, the streets filled instantly. An estimated 33 million people had watched the match on Spanish television. In a country of just 46 million people, almost the entire nation watching as one. Fountains were jumped into, flags were waved from balconies, strangers embraced in the street. For a country that had waited generations for this single result, the explosion of joy was unlike anything Spanish football had ever produced. Iker Casillas, Spain's captain, lifted the World Cup trophy on a stage built specially in Madrid days later. in front of an estimated 1 million people gathered to celebrate. 50 years of disappointment had ended in 116 minutes and 16 seconds. Spain's victory in 2010 was the culmination of more than just one tournament. It was the validation of an entire footballing philosophy. Patient, possession-based, intricate football built from the academies of Barcelona and the national team alike. Tiki-taka became, for a brief period, the most influential style in world football. Coaches everywhere tried to copy it. Few succeeded as completely as Spain had. But for most Spanish fans, the lasting memory is not tactical, it is human. It is a quiet man from a town of 2,000 people who left home at 12 years old, who spent his whole career avoiding the spotlight, striking the most important goal in his country's history, and using the biggest moment of his life to remember a friend who couldn't be there to see it. That is football at its most complete. Glory and grief, history and humanity, all inside 116 minutes and 16 seconds. 116 minutes and 16 seconds. 14 yellow cards. 50 years of waiting. One quiet midfielder from a small town nobody outside Spain had ever heard of. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe. We publish a new piece of football history every single day. Next time, we travel to 1962. With Pelé injured, Garrincha, a man with a deformed spine and bent legs, carried Brazil to the title almost single-handedly. Until then, sometimes the longest wait makes the shortest moment last forever.